Hi guys, this is Dewan and you're watching HealthSite and India.com. Today we have with us Dr. Poonam Sidana, pediatrician, CK Birla Hospital. Hi doctor, how are you?
I'm good, Minnie. How are you?
I'm great, doctor. And to begin with, the very first question that comes to my mind right now is regarding the much talked about dangerous virus threats that's going on, the new variant Omicron. So we have already heard a lot about this variant. Now, what I need to understand here is, will the existing vaccines work against this variant?
So, Minnie, I don't think right now we have enough data, right? So it's though its presence has been detected in 50 plus countries, and in India also we've had 30 plus cases. The data, whatever little we have, is from South Africa. The good thing that there is that even though it's very transmissible meaning like if I have Omicron, I can probably transmit it to 15, 20 patients, but it's not a very severe disease. So patients who have been detected with Omicron, they've not ended up in ICU like what we saw in January and April in the previous waves. Whether the current vaccines will be really effective and all, I think it's too new at this point of time for us to be really certain about it. We'll need more data, more this thing, but there is a hope that these vaccines will cover, the antibodies will cover. I mean, we have to understand that this virus thing, the whole thing about COVID is just about 2 years old, right? So in normal course, a vaccine would take 10 years to develop. So we've developed vaccines, we've given to millions and billions of people. So we do hope that this virus hasn't mutated enough to be able to escape the net. But I don't think we can be 100% sure at this point of time.
But there have been certain theories with regards to COVAXIN is more effective than Covishield. So all these are just rumors as of now.
It's not rumors. It's basically you have to understand the how the particular vaccine has been produced. Like there are different technologies. So Covishield is against a particular component of the protein in the virus, whereas COVAXIN is whole vaccine, whole virus. So it includes the all the components. But in India also, if you look at it, 90% of the vaccines that we've given is Covishield, and it's only about 10-12% of the people have received COVAXIN. So theoretically speaking, yes, when you're using a whole virus, then you are including all the possible proteins, right? So it should be effective. But Covishield is against a particular component. So I think in all honesty, we'll have to see, though we do hope and we think theoretically it should cover.
So as of now, which means in short, you are also saying the same thing, COVAXIN might be more effective with regards to Omicron as compared to any other vaccine.
There is a theoretical chance, but then again, these are complex things. You need to in many of the Western countries, they've already started giving booster even to normal people, not just the high-risk population. In India, we haven't gotten to that stage because even our primary things are still not up to the mark. So we'll need more data and we'll have to see. But I think the good thing is that Omicron doesn't seem to be a very virulent strain in the sense that the kind of disease it's causing is probably not very severe, where people will end up in ICU and ventilators and all. That seems to be, as of now, with whatever little data that's emerged from South Africa in one of the reports, it doesn't seem to be very scary in that terms. The numbers may be huge, but the level of sickness is probably not going to be that high.
Okay. So is there a specific answer to, which vaccine is the best when it comes to the ongoing Omicron? Or do we still have to wait for the reports to come?
I think we have to wait.
We have to wait.
I think it's again, this has emerged in last 2 weeks or so, maybe a month. So to come to that conclusion that this will be effective and this will not be effective, I don't think that's a fair kind of.
That's true. That's true. And also, can the currently used diagnosis method detect Omicron?
So there are genomic studies. It's not about just RT-PCR. So There are people who are coming from, currently, because we know it originated somewhere in South Africa. So the contact tracing and all, anybody, like in Jaipur, there was this family where somebody had come back from South Africa and we had a new cluster of patients.
That's true. Also, how concerned should we be with regards to the Omicron when it comes to children's health?
So children in general with COVID, they have done well. There are a lot of theories that they did not mount that kind of immune response. So it was children with comorbidities, teenagers who were overweight, diabetic, or on cancer medications. So those are the people who did get into complications, the MISC, right? So Omicron, like I said earlier, it doesn't seem to, it's probably a contagious in mean, like one person can spread to so many people. When I say virulence, what I mean is how bad the sickness will be. So it looks like that, it's not very virulent, though it is quite contagious. So the number of cases may be high. So when we come to India, like there were, as a pediatrician, I can tell you, there were n number of families where parents had fever, they got tested, they were positive. They would call me up that, I'm positive, what do I do? And when you ask about the kids, they'll say, हाँ, usko bhi khansi zukam hai. But those kids were not tested. In all probability, we had all these kids who actually got infected, but they were not very sick. If you look at Delhi Sero survey that's been published a few times, the last one, I think it was like 90% plus. These were random testing where kids were also tested. So probably a lot of kids, even though they're not vaccinated below 18 years, they have some antibodies. They've had some exposure indirectly because somebody in the family did have, right? So hopefully, if we can make sure that we all take the precautions that we are supposed to, then we should be able to protect our kids to at least some extent. But hopefully, if it's a mild strain, even if it happens, we'll not see so much of suffering.
Okay. But also, having said that, the vaccination process has not yet begun for the children. Do you think now it's high time to look into that?
So yes, India has a huge population, almost 1/3 kind of below 18. So it's a big reservoir which is not vaccinated. Right, but we haven't even completed our primary target. So I don't have the exact number, but there's a huge number which is of eligible population which still hasn't got vaccinated, or those who took just one dose and they haven't taken the second dose. Right. So until unless you complete all that, so to start with kids may be a little premature. Because if all the adults around you are vaccinated and they behave responsibly, then to a great extent, kids who will largely stay at home will not get affected. So, but I think these are policy decisions. There's a lot more involved there. Data is needed. Though in Western countries, in Canada and many other countries, they are more than 5-year-old kids are getting Pfizer shots now. I know that. So these are like, I'm sure government is thinking about it. The policymakers are thinking about it, how to go about it. But from what I understand as of now, the concern is that even our primary thing is not complete.
Thank you so much, Doctor. I think this has been very insightful. Thank you for joining us today. The audiences will go back home with lots of valuable insights. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you, Minnie. Have a good day and stay safe, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you, Doctor.